Have you ever picked up an ancient book, something like a gospel, and just wondered, how is this thing actually made? You know, we read them as these finished, polished works, but behind every single one, there's an author, a process, and a really specific purpose. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the Gospel of Luke and see exactly how its author went from being an investigator to a master storyteller.
Right from the get-go, the author we know as Luke lays out his mission statement. I mean, look at this. He's writing to a real person, this most excellent Theophilus. And his goal isn't just to tell a few stories, it's to provide certainty. This tells us we're not dealing with just a scribe here. We're dealing with an investigator who's about to lay out his entire case.
Okay, but that phrase, orderly account, that's a really interesting choice of words. See, when we hear orderly, we probably think of a perfect minute-by-minute timeline, right? But for writers back then, it meant something totally different. Luke isn't promising a strict chronological report. He's promising a logical, clear, and compelling presentation of the facts, arranged in a way that makes the most sense and has the biggest impact.
So that leads to the big question. If Luke wasn't an eyewitness to Jesus' life, how on earth did he put together this orderly account? Where did all his information come from? Well, this brings us to our first section. We're going to follow the paper trail and see what sources he was working with. The cool thing is, Luke actually tells us himself right in his introduction. It's like he opens up his investigator's case file, and in it, he's got three kinds of evidence. First, he's got written accounts from other people who already tried to document all this. Second, he's got testimony from credible eyewitnesses. And third, he did his own legwork, his own personal, careful investigation. This guy was a real researcher. You know, this whole process of figuring out where an ancient author got their material, it actually has a name. It's called source criticism. It sounds super academic, but it's really just the detective work of asking, where did the writer get their stuff? It helps us see how they sorted through all the information they had to build their own unique story.
So how did Luke do it? Well, scholars have pieced together a really fascinating theory. The most popular one is called the four-source hypothesis. Think of it like a recipe. Luke started with a foundational narrative, the Gospel of Mark. Then he mixed in a collection of Jesus' sayings that he shared with the author of Matthew. Scholars call this the Q source. Then he added his own special ingredients, the L source. This is where we get amazing stories like the Good Samaritan. And finally, he wove it all together into the incredible gospel we have today. But here's the thing. Luke wasn't just a collector of facts. He wasn't just compiling a report. He was a true literary artist. So let's dive into how he took all that evidence and sculpted it into a narrative that was designed to be gripping, compelling, and unforgettable.
And to pull this off, he used a whole narrator's toolkit. We're talking powerful speeches, dramatic dialogue, and some really deliberate pacing to build suspense. He even structured a huge chunk of his gospel as a literal journey, which allowed for incredible character development along the way. You have to remember, his audience was most likely listening to this account read aloud, so it had to be absolutely captivating.
Now check this out, because this is one of his most brilliant literary moves. Luke intentionally creates these stunning parallels between Jesus' story in the Gospel and the story of the early church in his second book, Acts. So Jesus is anointed by the Spirit, and bam, so is the church at Pentecost. Jesus faces 3 trials, and guess what? Later, Paul faces 3 very similar trials. Even their final words echo each other. This is no accident. It's a masterful way to show that this is all one continuous story.
And that brings us to a piece of the puzzle that is absolutely crucial to understand. The Gospel of Luke was never, ever meant to be a standalone book. It's just volume 1. Luke was writing a massive 2-part work, and his Gospel is literally only the beginning of the story he wanted to tell.
So you have Volume 1, the Gospel of Luke, which zeroes in on the life and ministry of Jesus. And then you have Volume 2, the Book of Acts, which picks up right where the Gospel ends and tells the explosive story of how the Christian movement began. They were written by the same guy, to the same person, Theophilus. They are 2 halves of one single epic story.
And because they're 2 parts of the same story, Luke weaves these huge thematic threads through both books. You see things like promise and fulfillment over and over again. The Holy Spirit is a central character in both, and he hammers home this idea that the gospel is for everyone, especially for outsiders and the marginalized. And maybe most importantly, he constantly shows how Christian origins are deeply rooted in Judaism.
All right, so we've looked at the sources, the artistry, the 2-volume structure, but why does all of this investigation matter? Why is understanding Luke's process so important? Let's tie it all together.
When you put all the pieces together, you see Luke's grand purpose. Here he is, a Gentile, writing to another Gentile, and he uses all his research to make one powerful point. Christianity isn't some new religion that's here to replace Judaism. No way. Instead, he argues that it's the ultimate fulfillment of Judaism's own promises, a truly Jewish movement that was now exploding to include the entire world.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. How does it change things for you when you see the author not just as a storyteller, but as a meticulous investigator, a careful historian, and a brilliant literary artist? It kind of invites us to read with new eyes, right? To pay attention not just to what he said, but to how and why he built his account the way he did.